Hey, it's Amplify Daily number 60. Today I'm going to talk to you all about what it takes to organically build an online audience of social media followers. So, for me, as somebody who relates to myself much more as kind of a reluctant creator, I do not relish at all the being the focal point of attention from thousands of random people on social media. Some people like that. It's not really me. I didn't grow up with a cell phone in my hand, and I'm still getting comfortable with the idea of sharing more on social media. But the greater majority of my life is not shared on social media. I share a very, very small percentage of what I do, personally or professionally, on social. So it's definitely taken me some years to embrace the thought of creating and publishing more consistently in terms of content for a public audience. And I see now that after, the last year or so, I've been much more serious about posting, about hiring people to, manage social profiles, et cetera. So I've spent a lot of money on it, spent a lot of time on it, learned a ton, and confronted some of my own self-consciousness about being online and stuff like that. So I see now, after doing that, the content creation does not have to be nearly as hard as I thought it was. And what I've realized over the last 12 months in particular is that creating engaging content is actually way, way easier than we realize. And I'll share with you what I mean. We look on social media and we see all of the kind of the perfectly manicured content quite a bit. We see the perfect lighting. We see the elegant visual backdrop. We see the perfect sound quality. We see that perfect blur in the background on every picture and every video. And every moment is like choreographed. We're watching these people online, and at least I am. Some of y'all will relate to me. And it seems like the camera's always on. It's like all the time. We're capturing every moment. And for me, I look at that, and for quite some time, I thought, well, if I'm going to be a serious content creator, that's what I'd have to aspire to. And I'm like, man, I don't. That looks exhausting. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. If that's what it takes, I don't want to do it. And so we look at that, and then we don't even end up starting to try to build a brand on social, because it's like, at least for me, I'm gonna keep it on me. I don't want to start something that I'm not going to stay consistent on. That's a place where I go quite a bit, and so I haven't wanted to start that, because who wants to have to manage all of that stuff ongoingly? Definitely not me. And in my experience over the last year, what I've learned is that that couldn't be further from the truth in terms of what is necessary in order for you to be able to grow on social media, to build a personal brand, to have people who are your ideal person, your ideal customer or client, engage with you, enjoy your content. So I want to talk you through the stuff that we think that matters versus the stuff that does not matter at all versus what actually matters. So all the stuff that I talked about, these are nice cherries on top that can potentially help your social media following grow. If you want to spend a bunch of time doing that stuff, there's nothing wrong with that stuff. So I don't want y'all to think I'm poo-pooing on it. I don't care to do all that stuff, and I'm not gonna at any point in time. My videos have gotten better. They will get better, better sound, better video quality, and all that stuff. You know, better backdrop some, but I'm never going to be the person who is, everything's got to be perfect for me to post. That's not my persona. It's not my brand. And I don't want to create that. The majority of my shots will not be choreographed. That's just not going to be how I move. But there are four specific things that definitely matter, and they impact your ability to expand your reach. They impact your ability to capture eyeballs and intention from an audience that resonates with you and wants to hear more from you on social media. Those four things are: number one, consistency. Publish content every day, period. It doesn't have to take more than a few minutes, but to not do so, you're really missing an opportunity to to connect with your audience. And the social media algorithms, they reward consistency. There's just no way around this. So while I'm more of a reclusive identity in terms of being out in the world and people being able to contact me and stuff like that, on social media, it just doesn't pay to not show up. The algorithms rhythms reward consistency, and it does not have to take a lot of time. And I'm going to tell y'all more about that, a way to approach that at the end of this video. But it does not have to take a lot of time. At least one time per day. Period. Number two, engage in content that is authentically you. And I think this is overlooked. People think they need to do all the manicured, made up stuff. If y'all see me on here, I mean, I'm sitting here with a very regular backdrop. There's nothing going on but my kitchen wall, sometimes a blank white wall. At some point in time, am I going to spruce up the background? Sure. Does it matter right now? No, it doesn't. The people who are resonating with this are going to resonate with it because I'm saying something. Do I care what I have on? Do I care if I'm shaving? I ain't shaved in probably 60 days. It's the longest my beard has been in I don't know how long. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm here to deliver content, and I wear the same little hoodie and tank top on under it. This is probably going to be my uniform for the most part. At some point, maybe I'll get even some branded clothing for like my brand and wear that T-shirt every day. Whatever it's going to be, 90% of the time, I'm probably going to find a uniform to wear for most of my videos so I don't have to think about it and don't have to worry about like, yo, did I wear that same shirt last week? I don't want to think about this stuff. So mostly I'm going to find a uniform, and then maybe every once in a while y'all see me something different, but I don't care about that stuff. That is authentically me. And so I don't want to create a expectation of something that's not me. If your thing is you rock jeans and a t-shirt, show up how you show up, and let the people who rock with that and who resonate with that actually connect with you. Don't try to be something or someone who you're not. Just show up how you show up and let the people find you who like that. And for some people, uh, authentic and vulnerable, like those two things go together. And for some people, it's hard to be open about the fact that everything is not perfect. Everything is not perfect. And guess what, y'all? Nobody believes it is. And while people may follow you on social and you're putting up this perfect image all the time, people know better. And when you do that, it does not create space for you to show up any other way. So I would recommend, if you haven't tried it, vulnerability is awesome. Being authentic is awesome, and letting people know I got gaps in this armor. I have flaws. I am not perfect at all. I'm working on things. Here's the stuff I do well. Here's the stuff that I'm terrible at. Can y'all help? Have some grace for me when you see me drop these balls. I'm telling you, I'm going to drop some. That goes a lot further on social media, leading with some of the pain, the challenges, the losses, the things that haven't gone perfectly. You can tell your story of success and ambition. There's nothing wrong with that. But be authentic about the areas where you've fallen short, and people resonate with that. Number three, clarity and expectation setting. Know what you plan on talking about. Know who you want to serve and how you want to serve them, and stay focused on that. That doesn't mean that you're putting yourself in a quote unquote box, but if you don't know who you're trying to impact and how you're trying to impact them, you don't get to actually show up every day and say things that person would hear and say over and over again. Man, this guy's content is really on point for me. Subscribe, like, follow, share. That's how that happens. People need to know what they can expect from you. And when they do know what they can expect from you, you can kind of cut through the noise and they start to look for your content. And number four is know the rules of the game. This is a big one for me because I made excuses for a long time about social media and not really understanding. Y'all, YouTube University, and if you don't want to do that, which a lot of times I don't at this point, I would rather just pay somebody who's the expert. I pay people who are experts to come in and do stuff, and as they're doing the doing, I watch and I learn in real time, and then I pick stuff up. So whether it's you going to YouTube, asking friends, getting online in some public forums, or just hiring somebody, we got to get out of saying, well, I just don't understand social media. If we're in business, it's our job to understand the pieces of the puzzle that we don't do well. Even if you're going to hire it out, you got to understand the basics so you can do your due diligence on who you're hiring. Each of the social media platforms that we use, they have rules, they have guidelines that when you know them, when you follow them, they will have your content naturally perform better, period, point blank. And they're going to have more reach. And so, from ideal video length, like I said, and I'm going to tell you, I don't think I've mentioned this, 58 seconds or less is what I do on every single video now because I'm focused exclusively, almost exclusively, probably like 95% on short form content because I can record one video and have it work on TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, on Twitter. I don't use Twitter, but if I wanted to, like 58 seconds or less gives you the ability to utilize that content across all forms and not have it be cut off before people can see it. So, what else? Trending sounds, particularly on TikTok and Instagram. That's not the same as trending music. Trending sounds can be a sound in the background. It can be music. It doesn't have to be. It can be audio. It can be a quote that people or someone is saying. But utilizing trending sounds and attaching them to the background of the post that you make, even when you have that trending sound, the volume on it low in the background of your post. So it's not audible to the human ear, but the Instagram, the TikTok algorithm then references that and says, oh, this is a piece of content that's using a trending sound, and it's more likely to show that content outside of just your network. Here's the thing. If your content isn't good, none of this matters. So I'm going to define what I mean by good again at the end of this video, and I'm going to tell you my simple way to create stuff now at the baseline. But none of this matters if you're not creating content that is useful, that's practical, that's relevant, and that gets to the point and helps somebody to see something, to do something, to hear something newly. That's the bottom line. Your content does not have to be perfect. Your content does not have to be perfect audio, perfect visual blur, perfect lighting. None of that matters. Now, you would be naive. I'll get to this in a minute. So let me keep going. For those of you who don't listen well, and yes, I'm talking to you who didn't listen well. Let me further clarify what I didn't say. Let me be clear about this. Let's not be naive. All right. What I said was the following: absolutely, positively doesn't matter. Perfectly manicured content, perfect lighting, perfect sound, perfect visuals. What I absolutely did not say was that content doesn't matter. I did not say that lighting doesn't matter at all. I did not say the visuals don't matter at all. The sound doesn't matter at all. You can't have trash videos. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it does not need to be perfectly manicured. And what doesn't matter is having these things be just like just right before they're shared with the world. No, you're likely not going to get anywhere publishing a total trash quality content video. That's not going to work. So your sound quality can be just like awful. You can't sound like you're talking underwater. Your lighting, you can't be in the dark, but you don't have to have the perfect ring light and all that stuff. I don't even have a ring light. I don't care. You can see me. That's what I mean by that. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. If you're getting value, some of y'all have been tuning in to Amplify Daily, mostly daily. Do you care whether or not I have on a nice sweater or a hoodie versus a you know whatever I've got on? Do you care if I'm giving you valuable content? Would it be nice if I had a perfect little blur on in the background and some nice pictures and all that? Sure, it would be nice, but it wouldn't change the messaging at all. And at the end of the day, if I didn't have quality content, you wouldn't show up no matter what I had on. So just remember that. And excuse me, the thing that we need to figure out is, how do you know whether or not the content is good enough to post it and you're not overthinking it? Here's what you need to do. And I'm going to keep this very simple for you. Get clear on what content you're covering and who you intend to speak to. That's number one. Once you're clear on that, then in another post, I'm actually going to share in way more detail about a structure that I've been able to come up with for myself based on, again, like hiring, spending a good amount of change inside of other people's frameworks that just I didn't find to be comprehensive and giving me a simple, approachable way that doesn't take me a lot of time to organize my thoughts and talk about the consistent things on social that make a difference for me and the audience who I want to talk to. And I call that my social media brand narrative tree. Once you know who you're talking to, and that's your customer avatar, and what topics you want to focus on consistently talking about, I want you to choose one of those topics that you know like the back of your hand. And for me, an example would be like sales automation. Okay, so you're going to choose one topic that you want to focus on for your particular customer avatar who you want to reach on social media. You choose one. Then choose one subtopic topic inside of that topic. So for me, an example of a subtopic inside of sales automation might be how sales automation makes you money if you're selling your expertise online. Okay. So one topic for you, that's your area of expertise. You know it like the back of your hand. Sales automation for me. What's one subtopic that you want to talk about inside of that particular topic? And this is an area that again, you know, like the back of your hand, you can talk about this for days. And for me, how sales automation makes you money if you're selling your expertise online. Now, you got your topic, you have your subtopic. Identify 2 to 3 points that you want to cover about that subtopic. 2 to 3 points that you want to cover about that subtopic. And for me, an example might be distinguishing a sales page versus a sales funnel versus a sales system. All right. That would be 3 points inside of the subtopic of, how to use sales automation to make money online. If you're selling money, if you're selling your expertise online, and the high level topic is sales automation. So after you found your 2 to 3 points that you want to cover inside of your subtopic, then you simply turn on your camera, put it on selfie mode, turn around, right? And then you're going to break down those 2 to 3 points in 58 seconds or less. That's it. That's it. I want you to, um, when you do this, that time makes it short form content. Just to be clear, that 58 seconds, that's the cutoff. It's really like 59, but I like to be 58 just to play it safe. That makes that content easily social media shareable across TikTok, across Instagram Reels, across Facebook, across YouTube, across LinkedIn, across Twitter. That way you don't have to do a bunch of extra editing. I don't shoot it wide. I guess you call it landscape. I don't shoot it in landscape. A lot of people will tell you to do that. And the masterminds that I've been in, they're like, no, don't do it. Shoot it for mobile first. Shoot it for mobile first. Unless you're like literally in the studio. But from your phone, shoot it for mobile first. Shoot it in portrait mode, and because 99% of what you do is going to be on portrait mode. So just do it on portrait mode. It's the easiest, simplest. You don't have to worry about resizing things later. Shoot it in portrait mode, and y'all don't script it. Don't script it. Then you get in your head. Then you're trying to remember what you're supposed to say. You sound like a robot. These are areas that you know. You are an expert in the area that you are an expert in. Choose your topic, choose your subtopic, choose 2 to 3 points inside that subtopic, and boom, just go for 58 seconds. And you can see when you turn on your timer, you can see the timer count down. So what's going to happen is you'll end up doing that take 2 or 3 times because you're going to be over time by 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Get it to 58 seconds. Don't compromise. And what's going to happen is by the third or fourth take, you'll have some points that you're hitting like, pretty consistently. And after 3 or 4 takes, you're going to hit that 58 seconds and you'll spend about, 15, 20 seconds on point one, boom, point two, boom, point three, boom, stop. And what do you have? You have a 58-second video that is punchy, where you've covered a relevant topic inside of a contextual subtopic. And somebody who's interested in that is going to watch that 58 seconds and say, oh, that was actually really good. That was very useful. So once you do that, choose one platform and post it per one time per day. Now, for somebody like me, I needed to focus on one. You may be able to do multiple. For me, it was just Instagram Reels. That actually works well for me. One platform, one time per day, and this keeps gets your consistency muscle going. Keep your caption. This is another place where it can start to get like timely, taking up too much time and energy. Keep your caption to a one line description of what the post covers. That's it. Don't worry about all the hashtag. You can put a hashtag or two. Keep it simple. One line description for your caption and post that thing once a day. So we're talking about 5 minutes, maybe 10 to get a usable take, 58 seconds or less. We're talking about scrolling through the list of topics that you want to talk about. You want to start with 5 to 10 things that you consistently want to talk about online. And again, I'm going to give you a full breakdown in another video and email about what I call my brand narratives tree for social media. 5 to 10 core areas that you're going to talk about, core topics you're going to talk about again and again and again and again and again, and all the different subtopics that go under those core topics that you're going to do posts about. And any one of those subtopics, you should be able to pick out 2 to 3 points that kind of make the case, and that keeps things simple for you. So people are going to naturally start to be in your inbox. When you do this 30 days religiously, people are going to naturally start to be in your inbox about that expertise that you're sharing that they didn't realize that you had. And most importantly, you'll begin to feel a sense of clarity and ease in what you want to talk about. You'll get comfortable sharing more. And once that happens, all the possibilities open up for ways you can start to feel comfortable growing and sharing on social media, and the boulder will then be rolling downhill. You'll have some momentum, and that is how you get started. Do not concern yourself with everything needing to be perfect. You're not fooling anybody. Keep it simple. All right, Amplify Daily.